You get about 4,000 Saturdays. Not a tragic number, a human number. The goal is not to panic, but to finally breathe. When you stop pretending you can fit infinite obligations into a finite life, something beautiful happens. You get your life back. The first shift is brutal and freeing. You will never clear the decks. The to-do list breeds like ivy. The more you trim, the more shoots appear. Efficiency without limits creates more demand, not more freedom. If you spend your days trying to get on top of it, your reward is more it. The point of time management isn't to do everything faster. It's to choose what is worth doing at all and to let the rest remain undone without guilt. So you adopt a new measure of success, not how much did I cram into today, but what did I refuse to postpone? Your attention is your actual life. What you give it to is what you become. You don't have time in the abstract. You make time in the concrete by deciding what you will not attend to. Every yes is 1,000 silent no's. Decide them on purpose. You start with a closed list. 3 meaningful tasks, max. Not a museum of everything you could do, but a small workshop where today's real work lives. You can keep a separate overflow list, but it is a waiting room, not a second job. When one of the 3 is finished, a new guest may enter. Until then, the door stays closed. This is how you trade urgency for meaning, by building a day that is physically too small for triviality. Then you choose what to neglect, not by accident, but by design. You quit believing the myth of balance where everything gets equal attention eventually. That day never comes. Instead, you rotate your neglect like a farmer rotates crops. You clarify, for the next season, these relationships and this craft get my best hours. These hobbies and those obligations will be minimal. You are not failing them. You are refusing the lie of omnipotence. That refusal is the beginning of integrity. You set fixed schedule boundaries. Work has hours, life has hours. Both deserve walls. You end on time more often than you begin early because ending on time teaches the world and your future self what you value. Depth grows in the soil of boundaries. A day without edges dissolves into a soup of half attention where nothing cooks. You give yourself an untouchable hour each day, one protected block entirely devoted to the one thing that would matter, even if the rest of the day exploded. Phone outside the room, notifications off, documents already open, every other demand can queue. If the world collapses for 60 minutes because you were present for your life, the world can learn to collapse without you for a moment. You learn to tolerate the anxiety of choosing. Perfectionism is a refusal to be finite. I'll start when I'm certain. Certainty is a mirage guarding the desert of never. Begin badly. Make small bets. Let feedback educate you faster than fantasy. The first draft will embarrass you. Good. Now you have clay to shape. You stop trying to outsmart Hofstadter's law. Everything takes longer than you think, even when you know about Hofstadter's law. Instead, you plan with buffers. You overestimate the cost of switching. You underschedule on purpose. Spare time is not wasted, it is oxygen. Without oxygen, your work chokes and calls it hustle. You practice patience as a strength routine. Lines, downloads, traffic. Use them to rehearse being a mortal among mortals. If time is always an enemy, life becomes a war. But if time is a landscape, you can walk. Much of your suffering came from insisting the river move at the speed of your desire. It won't. Walk the bank you're on. You stop clearing the decks. Inbox zero is a pleasant Saturday, not a strategy for meaning. Email is a conveyor belt of other people's priorities. You respond generously where it matters and let the rest accumulate like fallen leaves. Nobody builds a life by raking forever. You adopt cosmic insignificance therapy. On a cosmic scale, your projects are tiny. Instead of despair, feel the relief. You are released from performing greatness for an audience of galaxies. Do something kind and concrete for the people actually within reach. The paradox. When you accept that you are not the main event of the universe, you finally have the freedom to make your small corner shine. You realize that most of your procrastination is mood management. You're not delaying the task. You're avoiding the feeling that comes with starting. So you reduce the emotional barrier. Set the bar at show up for 5 minutes, touch the keyboard, open the document, lay out the instruments. The first 2 minutes are the steepest hill. After that, gravity helps. You build joy into the middle, not as a prize at the end. Leisure is not a reward for exhausting yourself. It is a practice that trains you to be a human being rather than a machine. Take walks without headphones. Read for delight. Cook something slow. Play badly at something you love. The point is not excellence, it is aliveness. You treat the internet like a power tool, useful, loud, and dangerous without guards. You create ritual friction before entering. One question: why am I going online right now? One timer, one purpose. You not only block distractions, you unblock presence. Your phone is not evil. It is simply a dispenser of other people's agendas. Turn it into a quiet brick for stretches of your day and watch the texture of your thoughts return. You make finitude your friend. You will die. This isn't morbid, it's clarifying. Someday the number of Saturdays will hit 0. From that future, look back. Which conversation should you have today? Which apology? Which sketch? Which email can remain unwritten so something living can be born? Mortality does not shrink life, it sharpens it. You use seasonality. Not everything meaningful fits in 1 month. Some goals belong to winter, others to spring. You keep a someday season list and move candidates into the current season on a schedule you trust. When you feel FOMO, you don't chase, you schedule. There will be a time, just not all at once. You let disappointment be a teacher. Every path chosen is 1,000 paths unlived. Grieve them, then live the one you picked fully enough that an unlived life would envy you. This is adulthood, not keeping options open forever, but closing them beautifully. You support all of this with a few simple tools. A weekly review with one question: what did I neglect on purpose? And is that still the right neglect? A daily page where you write the 3 task close list. A calendar that reflects the truth. Fixed boundaries, untouchable hour, movement, rest. A visible reminder that reads, attention is my life. You keep your humanity in view. People are not projects. They don't fit into slots. They arrive with their own 4,000 weeks, trembling and precious. Give them your eyes. 5 minutes of real attention builds more life than 5 hours of distracted proximity. You stop outsourcing meaning to the future. The fantasy of later is the last mask of avoidance. If a habit, a craft, a friendship, a patch of earth matters, give it minutes this week. Microscopic progress beats immaculate intention. Today is expensive. Spend it deliberately, and you remember that enough is a decision, not an arrival. You will always be able to imagine more. That's the mind's job. Your job is to pick a few excellent constraints and call them home. Inside those walls, your days can become a studio rather than a freeway. 4,000 weeks, not a countdown, a commitment. To presence over perfection, to depth over breadth, to a life that looks small on a galactic map and feels vast from the inside because you were actually there for it. If you want to keep growing and mastering yourself, follow the Clearance channel.